Hello and welcome. My name's Super Saiyan and this is your weekly news and pre-order video covering all of the new releases from Games Workshop. I'd just like to say a very warm welcome to all of you new subscribers and viewers of the channel. You may have discovered the channel from my recent Avoid the Space Marine Drop Pods review. I'm very happy with the traffic and the popularity of that video. I can't thank you enough. I think I did a pretty good job at outlining all the reasons why you should completely avoid the new Space Marine drop pods and the unfortunate message that product sends to us hobbyists and enthusiasts for future products. I had planned on making a size comparison for the drop pods yesterday on the Friday, but that did not materialize. But that will be up on Monday, so you won't have to wait too long to experience my extra thoughts and comparisons with the new drop pods and the old. So let's get straight into this video by going over to the Warhammer community website right here. Now, there was a big summer preview show and there was a lot to be revealed, so that's why tomorrow I will be going through all of the summer reveals. Typically I like to keep Sunday for a non-Warhammer video, but I put what I planned to be released tomorrow on a bit of a back burner because this has taken precedence, and I'll go through all of the previews and my thoughts and things. So we'll just be kind of touching on what was revealed a little bit in today's video, but not the full thing. So if we look at all the latest news and we go back a week ago, of course, last weekend on the Saturday, the 12th of July, there was the big pre-orders for the Saturnine box set. So you could pre-order the Age of Darkness Saturnine box set. It has gone up in price since the Age of Darkness box set was released 3 years ago, but it is 3 years ago, and that set did cost £180. I know there's been a bit of noise about it being the most expensive sort of starter set Games Workshop's ever produced, but let's just not be too distracted by that, in that the previous box set for this 3 years ago was £15 less. I think £5 per year increase isn't too bad when you consider that you're getting a similar number of models. I think you're getting exactly the same number of models with this kit, but you could probably use it less in 40k. I'm not sure what the massive fascination is of using Horus Heresy minis and things in 40k. I mean, I kind of get it in that you're getting more value out of your minis, but just the look and the aesthetics of it sometimes just don't match the 40k stuff, especially now that we're all in the Primaris bigger Space Marines and things. But yeah, you could pre-order this box set. I think with a discount it was £156 instead of the 190 or so, which is a great saving and definitely worth it for 150. Considering you get that £40-50 rulebook in there as well, so £100 for the minis, and the dice and the templates is pretty good. All of these minis are brand new, unlike the previous set 3 years ago. But the one thing that I was surprised about, I don't know whether I was surprised, is that it didn't sell out. I was really thinking that maybe it would sell out because the box set 3 years ago kind of did for a little while. It was hard to get hold of, but then they flooded the market and you could pick it up for such a long time, really, before they slowly discontinued that set. I knew it would be popular. I guess they've just made enough. Like a lot of sneaker releases as well, really. Maybe it's a combination of them making enough, that the price being quite high, so not as many people have purchased it, and just the cost of everything else. I mean, I don't know if anybody's been food shopping recently, need I say more? Yeah, I think it's really cementing people's purchasing power, whether they're going to spend money on essentials like food or luxury items, because this set will be around for quite a while, and the minis themselves will be around I say forever. I mean, the minis that were about in the box set 3 years ago are still around now. So yeah. Anyway, moving down, you could buy the rule book separately. You could also buy these army books. I don't know. Still think it's a good idea that they released all of them at the same time, because if you've got a particular faction, then you can just pick up one of the books. So I do prefer that to just drip feed releasing like they did in the last edition. You know, I think we had to wait a while for the Solar Auxilia book and the Mechanicum book and the Talons of the Emperor. We're still going to have to wait a while for the Talons of the Emperor one, but at least you can, you know, I think in a week's time we can look at the digital rules and things for it. We've also had this new kind of direction they've gone in, which is the Journal Tactica, the Istvan 5 Drop Site Massacre Part 1. I'm always dubious about these kind of things because they're only like 40 odd pages or so, which is more of like a supplement. I think it's priced like 20 or 30 pounds. I'm dubious when it says Part 1. I'd like to know how many parts there are. I mean, if there's going to be 10 parts, you're looking at 300, 400 pound for all these softback books, and I'm not a big fan of the softback books anyway, especially when it comes to awesome artwork and you know, missions and things, which would be nice to keep open, which you can do with the hardback books. So yeah, I would have rather had like 3 books, like condense them into 3, but have 150 to 200 pages per book. Yeah, they've decided not to go down that route. Don't know how that's going to affect things. The Mark II Tactical Squad available separately. I mean, it is what it is. They're choosing the poster boys this edition as being the Iron Warriors and the Salamanders, of course. I don't think Iron Warriors, the colour scheme, necessarily sells Space Marines that well. I might be wrong, but yeah, they've chosen that for the Mark II. And then you've got the Carta Galactica, the Imperium of Man map. That sold out though. Black Library, we've got the End of the Death Volume 2, finally available in softback. This has been out for many, many months. I want to say like last year, the hardback for that. You've got the Vengeful Spirit map. Again, another map, not sure whether we needed that. I mean, it's useful if you've read the books. But how many maps have there been now? What, 9, 10? I can't remember. But yeah, they were all the pre-orders last week. The very next day, I breathed a sigh of relief because I don't have to pre-order anything today. We've got the Warhammer Age of Sigmar Battle Tome Blades of Khorne. So you've got the hardback, you've got the Gamers Edition with the cards. I don't know why they're still trying to push that. You know, the Gamers Edition and the cards together, I think like £50, and the book is like 37. So it's a good chunk more. A Spearhead Fangs of the Blood God. Yeah, so you've got some of those. You've got the Deathbringer. Looks quite nice. The Claws of Karanak. And then a Gore Blade Warband. The Regiments of Renown, the Red Revelation. You've got the Blades of Khorne dice set and War Scroll cards. I would have thought that, I mean, I like the gold or the yellow that they've used for the dice, but I still think it would be good to have like a skull colour, and then you've got blood for the Blood God, skulls for the Skull Throne kind of thing. But I understand why they've gone for that like gold brass type colour. We've also got the Battle Tome Kharadron Overlords. Again, same format as the Khorne. You've got some packs here, the Spearhead Grundstock's Trailblazers, the Null Chemist, the Von Grimm Harpoon Crew. They can also be built as the Von Grimm Salvagers. You've got the Zontari Endrindock. Interesting thing. And then the Regiments of Renown, Reki's Privateers. And then the dice and the War Scroll cards. The dice are nice. They're kind of like a gold brassy colour with like a dark blue or black on the font. Maybe it would have been better to have that colour, just white. But made to order Warhammer Age of Sigmar terrain. So you've got like a jungle. That's a classic jungle. I like that. It's going to be interesting to see how much they're selling that for today, though. And then you've got this. So you've got like Tomb Kings. These would go quite well with them. Yeah, that's like a Weathertop type one. And then you've got even more, like a Storm Vault. And then those as well. Warhammer Underworlds, we've got this very bizarre unit. I'm not a big fan of these at all. They just look odd. Kamandora's Blades, they're called. Raging Slayer's Rivals Pack. Black Library, we've got Queen of the Rose Thorn by Gary Kloster. We've got Hammers of Ulrich, I think that's an audio book. And then a Horus Heresy novella collections. That's audio book, I think. And more. So you've got 8 collections there. Fall of Cadia French edition, and the Kharadron's Void Exile French and German. Horus Heresy Omnibus German edition. And then Warhammer Plus. We had these. And that's it. So a bit of a slower release for today. It's mainly the Age of Sigmar stuff, so it gives a bit of a break from Horus Heresy. It will be interesting to see what the preview is tomorrow. I kind of think it probably will be Horus Heresy to give like a week break. That could be in another 2 weeks. Then we got the big summer preview this week, so that was just an advert that was going to take place. You got Innovate, Speculate and Accumulate with the new Battle Tome Kharadron Overlords. So a little look at some new rules for them. Just not a big fan of them, really. You got Grace the Underhive with dedicated Palanite companions to beat back the Riffraff. That's quite cool with those brushes. And yeah, very cool. They all get a disintegration gun. So these are going to be Forge World minis. Got new combat patrols for Tyranids, Black Templars and Space Wolves. So Space Wolves, yeah, that's alright. It's got some new minis in there. Like the Wolfguard Battle Leader, you've got the new Terminators, you've got the Blood Claws, and then it's got the older Wolfen, I think they are. The Black Templars, you know, if you haven't got any Black Templars, this is a decent set. You've got 10-man Crusader Squad. You've got the Emperor's Champion as well. And you've got 3 Blade Guard veterans. And you've got 5 Sword Brethren. So that's a nice set there. Tyranids. Again, it's another way of selling that Parasite of Mortrex. They do this from time to time. Single minis that are 28 quid or whatever, and they're not selling, they'll bundle them in a box set. New Gene Stealers are good though. I do like those. You've got the Biovore and the Tyrant Guard, are they? Yeah, so I'm not sure about the Parasite of Mortrex, whether that works with that set, but there we go. And then you've got my favourite of them all, the Grey Knights set with Castle and Crow. And they don't actually label what's included, but you get 10, are they Justicars? And then you get the 5 Terminators, really old Dreadnought, boxy Dreadnought, and then Crow. So they're the combat patrols. Yeah, they're all right. The Rumour Engine on the 15th of July. It's got to be some kind of Khorne or Chaos thing, hasn't it? It's got a skull and some spiked balls. An article, Revolutionise Carnage and Slaughter with the new Blades of Khorne battle traits. So some new rules there for them. Chronicles of Ruin, Last Chances. So is this Kharadron Overlords. Little short story there for you. And then read an excerpt from the Arcanauts Oath. So another little short story. Warhammer TV this week, Grand Cathay, Deep Strike and Scrap Demon. So they discuss about how that trailer was made. And then they've got helmets on. And then the Vongren Guild are Kharadron Adventurists. So talking about those. And then Legacies of the Age of Darkness, what you need to know. So this is a very interesting article. We've noticed that some of you are concerned that certain units in your existing armies might not be usable in the new edition, especially if they don't feature in the Liber book for that faction, which is ridiculous. They should feature in that faction. There's no reason why they shouldn't whatsoever. I think it's just poor. I don't know whether it would make you not buy the books. Possibly. Why would you buy? You know, if you've already got the books from 3 years ago, why would you buy the books again if they've got less content? It's shrinkflation. I've said this for a while, that shrinkflation is happening in this hobby as well. It's happening everywhere. But yeah, it says, hopefully this article will reassure you that those Tartarus Terminators, Power Fists, Destroyers with jump packs and White Scars Champions on bikes won't be resigned to a life on the shelf. There's a real easy solution to this. Don't do Horus Heresy 2.0. Just continue with the old rules. Tweak some of the new units to fit in the old rules. It's one of the reasons why they've just changed some of the things in the new rules to justify you getting the new rules. You've got the upcoming Legacies of Age of Darkness PDF is a huge document which will allow you to continue the vast majority of miniatures. It's set to drop shortly after the release of the Saturnine box set. Why were these rules not in the Liber books? Are a reflection of the current range of miniatures. So basically, if Games Workshop decide to not make any miniatures, then they will remove the rules from the books. That's what they're saying. It's kind of giving them an excuse to not include rules for miniatures that don't exist anymore, which is really bizarre because you have gone out and worked, paid your taxes, and then paid your taxes again on buying some really cool looking miniatures, and then because Games Workshop have decided not to sell them, then they've also decided not to give you the rules in the books. They go on to say, we fully intend players to use existing armies. Can I use them in a tournament? It really depends. That's always up to the organiser and so on. Is everything covered in the Legacies PDF? No, of course it isn't. There's a selection of named characters who've never had miniatures released. Well, that's fair enough. This is a list of all the units that will have data sheets. So you've got the Veteran Breachers, Veteran Heavy Support, Tartarus, Indomitus, which is good, Mortalis, Castra, Ferrum Dreadnought, Unready Achilles, Sacis Assault Ram. So that's an old kit that hasn't been around for a long, long time. Attack Bikes, Scout Squads, Legion Basilisk, Legion Medusa, that's good. Thunderhawk Transporters, and so on. Dark Angels. Okay. Emperor's Children. Iron Warriors, White Scars, Space Wolves, Imperial Fists. Night Lords, Blood Angels, and so on. See, there's a load of fortifications there, like the Firestorm readout. Solar Auxilia, there's quite a lot. Here we go. So this is the roadmap. So July, you've got Legacies of the Age of Darkness PDF and Talons of the Emperor Army list. So they'll release both of those this month. August, you've got Militia Imperialis Army list. Interesting. September, you've got the Demons of the Runestorm and Legiones Inducti rules. October, you've got Black Shield's army list and Shattered Legion's army list. And then November, you've got the Zone Mortalis rules. So there you go. At least they are transparent about what is being released. Narrative play in Middle-earth, Battle of the Five Armies. So you can download some scenarios, which is quite nice. Field Furious armies exclusively made of the Gore Chosen, or Bloodthirsters even. And yeah, there's the Bloodthirsters. Crazy, absolutely crazy. How to paint an entire company of Space Marines. So how do they do this? So you craft your vision. Oh, there's a YouTube video. What models you like the best. And yeah. So you got your Mark 2s, your Mark 3s, and your Mark 6s. And batch painting. Yeah, that's quite useful. That's cool. Now, you've got the preview, so we'll just touch on this. As I say, there's going to be a big, full, in-depth video covering all of these tomorrow, so stay tuned to the channel for that. But basically, we had some Votan models. Some pretty cool ones, actually. We had some more Tomb Kings. We had some Flesh Eater Courts. And of course, a brand new miniature locked behind a set of old miniatures. We've got Nighthaunt with another nice looking mini. This time, I don't think this one is locked behind this spearhead. We had some Chaos Dwarfs. We have a Spikewood new set with the Chaos Dwarfs, I think. We had some reinforcements for the Legion's Imperialis. Don't get excited, that isn't a plastic Mastodon. Well, it kind of is a plastic Mastodon, but it's for the, Adeptus Titanicus type range. We've got a few previews of Horus Heresy minis, like the Mark II Assault Squad. We've got a new series of books from Black Library, and I called it first, I swear, years ago. I think I probably said this in one of the live streams. I said, wouldn't it be cool if we had novels and stories set straight after the Siege of Terror called The Scouring? We've now got The Scouring. Very cool bit of artwork there. There are some notable people in this frame, so definitely zoom in and you will see some absolute legends. So I'm actually quite excited about that, if it's done well. And yeah, we'll see if it just goes on and on for 50 books. I'd like to see more novels about the Great Crusade, though. Maybe it should be called the Imperium of Man. Just putting that out there right now. For Warhammer 40k, though, we had a look at the new minis, new characters. Salamander's Vulcan Hestan. How many minis has he had? Quite a few. Darnath Lysander hasn't had a new mini forever. I've still got the metal one, and he looks pretty cool. So I'll be picking him up at least. Raven Guard Aethon Sharn. So a new Raven Guard mini that's like draped in these ribbons or something. Nice set of 3 heads there for him though. You've got an Iron Hands mini, which is amazing that we've got one of those. Not sure about this weapon though. Would have preferred a hammer. White Scars mini on this bike looks absolutely incredible. Yeah, when can we get more of these bikes? And then you've got some combat patrols as well, which they didn't go down the full route of locking them all behind these box sets. You've got the Salamanders one, which is, yeah, I like the Gravis armoured melters and things. The Imperial Fist one is quite boring, as you'd expect. The Raven Guard one has that very quiet Invictus Warsuit, and of course it's got some jump pack Marines. The Iron Hands one is very bizarre. It's got 2 of these turret things. I would have thought that they'd have, with a Tech Marine, and I would have thought they'd have a Dreadnought or something. And then the White Scars one, they did lock the character behind behind a Impulsor. And yeah, only 3 normal bikes. It looks a bit odd him being on a jet bike when these 3 aren't. Where are the jet bikes, honestly? There's a helmet that you can buy if you like, and then the big reveal was the new Kill Team box set. Going back to its roots, you've got the Kill Team, you've got the Death Watch fighting against the Necrons. They look pretty good. I'll go through them in their own video. And that is it. So the big news this week, of course, was the preview and all of those brand new minis. I thought it was an alright preview. I would have liked to see more focus on Horus Heresy, but there we go. I think it was quite well rounded with what they've showed off, but I'll discuss more in the video, of course. And that's pretty much it for the news and the preview this week. Let's go on over to Games Workshop's web store and have a look at all of the pre-orders. So right here on the very first page, I'm not sure why. I really am baffled about this, but add characters to your legions. They're really pushing Perturabo and some of the older Forge World kits. Maybe because we're getting towards the release of Saturnine. I'm very tempted to press Explore to see is out of stock. Oh, you just can't make this up. You can get Vulcan, you can get Manus, you can get the small Angron. What else is in stock? We've got some Salamanders things, got some Iron Warriors. Okay, the majority is in stock then. Yeah, you've got a fair bit in stock. It's just that Perturabo sticks out like a sore thumb. And then you've got some plastic kits as well. Okay, I'll see what they've done there. So that's not too bad, really, when you think about it. But if we go to new and exclusive and we click all pre-orders and we have a look high to low. Now, so we've got Saturnine from last week, which is still available, and it will be available for the next, I wonder if it'll be available for within the next year, possibly. Depends how many they've made. You got the Spearhead Kharadron Overlords, £87.50 for these. So it's almost £100 for 4 units now. Didn't these used to be like 50 quid? 10 minis. Yeah, so that's that set. You are getting an Endrin Master with, I nearly said dribble, driggable suit, 5 Grundstock Thunderers, 1 Grundstock Gunhauler, 3 Endrin Riggers as well. So that's what you get with that set. You've got the Spearhead Blades of Khorne, Fangs of the Blood God, £87.50 again, and you're getting 19 minis, 1 Karanak, 8 Claws of Karanak, 10 Flesh Hounds. I don't think I've got Karanak and the Flesh Hounds. I should really get them. I'm not sure whether this would be the best set to get them in though. You've got the Regiment of Renown, Drekki's Privateers, £85. Literally, you're getting 12 minis with this one. You get the Drekki Flint, you get the Archanaut Frigate, and 10 Archanaut Company miniatures. So that's those. You get a Goreblade Warband, £61.50. This is more like it. So you're getting 19 minis, 1 Mighty Lord of Khorne, 1 Blood Secretor, 1 Blood Stoker, 1 Korgorath, 5 Blood Warriors, 10 Blood Reavers. Regiment of Renown, the Red Revelation. Regiment of Renown, the Red Revelation. 16 minis, 1 Slaughter Priest, 5 Skull Reapers, and 10 Blood Reavers. And then you've got the Mark II Tactical Squad from last week. You've got the Order Battle Tome, the Kharadron Overlords, £50 for the Gaming Edition, and the cards. So as I say, 50 quid for these. And the little Gamers Edition, 90-page softback, and it's a smaller little book as well. Same price for the Blades of Khorne. The Warhammer Horus Heresy Liber books, £44 for the Space Marine ones. The rulebook is actually out of stock. You've got the Zontari Endrindrock for £40. You've got the Vengeful Spirit map, 40 was last week. You've got the Battle Tomes for £37 each. They're hardback though. We'll just have a look at how many pages the Khorne one has. Probably 90, probably 100. 106 pages, yeah. And this one should have, yeah, 90. You've got the Von Grimm Harpoon Crew, £37. And you've got the Claws of Karanak, again for £37. You've got more Liber books, but they're a bit cheaper. They're £31 each. That was last week. Null Chemist is £28. You've got the Kamandora's Blades for £27.50. Oof, that's quite a lot. It's almost £30 for 5 minis and the cards. You're getting 5 fighter cards and 7 War Scroll cards. So 12 cards and 5 minis. Oof. You get the Deathbringer, quite a cool model, £23 for him. Yeah, it's a nice Blades of Khorne mini. You got the War Scroll cards, £20.50 for Kharadron Overlords and for Blades of Khorne. You've got the Queen of the Rose Throne in hardback, £20. You've got the Kharadron Overlords dice for £19. Blades of Khorne dice for £19. The map was last week. The Raging Slayers Rivals deck for £18, and then the Journal Tactica was last week as well. And then you got the paperback of The End of the Death Volume 2. And that is it. So obviously more pre-orders than last week, because last week it was mainly the Age of Darkness Saturnine set and the books. This week we're getting a lot of Age of Sigmar in the form of those 2 armies. It's interesting that they release both of these armies at the same time, like all their spearheads, all their books, their cards. I don't know what that message is telling me, whether they're going all in and it's just like, right, here's the new editions of these armies and we're going to release them in one go. Personally, I think it would have been better for them to space that and have like Kharadron this week and then Blades of Khorne next week or even a few weeks after, especially if you collect both. But yeah, there you go. They're releasing all in the same day anyway. But yeah, they're releasing all on the same day. And that's it for all of the news and the pre-orders for this week, Saturday the 19th of July. I will be back tomorrow where I'll give you a detailed review, I guess, of the summer preview event where I'll go through all of those articles and give you my thoughts and opinions, and it'll just be that. So hopefully you'll enjoy that video. There's plenty more content next week. As I say, the Space Marine Drop Pods old versus new video will be out on Monday morning, and then Wednesday and Friday there will be videos and there'll be the reviews of the Rapier batteries for Legiones Astartes for the Horus Heresy. And then hopefully Saturday, if everything goes to plan, I should get my Saturnine box set, and then there'll be a few weeks of Horus Heresy content. So again, I'd like to say a massive thank you if you've got this far in the video and you've enjoyed all the content so far. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.